Hello, everybody. Welcome back to ArtosisCasts. This is one of the most exciting casts that I will ever do. And that is because the most talented player in the history of StarCraft is active again. Up here in the top right, it's Nada. This is a Zerg player. We don't care about him. This is Nada. Okay, you might look at that and say, oh, well, what about Flash? No. Okay, so I'll probably make a separate YouTube video just about this, but in case you have missed StarCraft from 2002 onwards, it is basically unanimous amongst everyone who knows their stuff about StarCraft that Nada is the most talented that there has ever been. Flash actually himself has said this as well. And yeah, this is just so exciting. Now, I want to give a few stats just to put this into perspective, okay? So if you won 3 OSLs, you got the golden mouse. If you won 3 MSLs, you got the golden badge. Okay, 5 people won 3 MSLs. 4 people won 3 OSLs. Only 2 people did both, Flash and Nada. Only 2 players were champions of OSL and MSL at the same time, Flash and Nada. Both were Bonjoas. And Flash has publicly said that he has only met 3 geniuses of StarCraft. Flash does not consider himself a genius. He considers himself a hard worker, as does basically everyone who knows Flash deeply. And Nada is at the top of that list. I cannot say enough positive things about this man. I remember when he took over the mantle as best Terran from Boxer. Just an unbelievable player. And I'll share more stories about him, I think, at another time in another video. But it's really exciting to have him playing the game again. He's streaming on Soup, a.k.a. Afrika TV. He's mostly playing money maps, just to make this clear, right? He's playing a lot of fastest map. And he is, well, he's gotten old, okay? He's actually the oldest player ever to qualify for ASL as well. He was born in 1984, so he is just 1 year younger than even myself. But it is really exciting. He is in the S rank. He's played 75 ladder games starting 3 weeks ago, thanks to the guy in the chat that pointed this all out to me. But he is active, and he is in the S rank. He's low S rank at the moment at 2,253 MMR. But you know what? That's pretty damn impressive for someone who's been inactive for a very long time. Okay, so enough to do at the beginning of this game. We already see a very strange thing happening here. This is an incredibly old build. This is simply not used anymore. Nada has gone for a 2 barracks academy rush on 1 base. This was a popular build like in 2003 or so. Maybe did we see this in 2004 still? Not as much, really. Oh yeah, and just to put this in perspective, Nada won his first Star League in 2002. That was the first time he won this best tournament in the world. Flash was not even recruited as a pro gamer until 2007. Okay, so just some context there. So anyways, Nada using a very old strategy. The reason why this build is not used anymore is because if you just make enough Sunkens to live through this and go into Mutalisks, Terran will never be able to grow beyond this if you have good control. So that should end up being an issue here for Nada, but we'll see. Speed and Spire on the way. He is moving out, and you need to throw down at least 3 Sunkens right now as Zerg. Like, you cannot be wasting any time here. There's 1 on the way. The Ling's trying to slow this down. You really need to get those started, though. Making me a bit nervous. Okay, a good amount of speedling, so it looks like that's going to kind of be the strat that he uses here. And, ooh, he gets actually a very good surround onto Nada's units. And will end up killing off quite a few. So now the 1 Sunken against these damaged Marines is looking a lot stronger, especially if those mutas can come out. A few more Lings on the way as well. So this build not working out all that well as of yet. We don't see the range upgrade going, but we do see +1. Couple fire bats on the ramp, so very careful against counterattacks. Nada backing up now. And you know what? Like, okay, so looking at this, it's like such a weird position. It's just not something we see anymore. Now, you know, obviously I've been active since like 1999 or whatever. So I mean, I've used this build like a million times back in the day. And whoa, he's adding a third rack. So he's actually going a little bit more all in than what I would think that you'd normally do with this. But you know what? Maybe if he keeps some heavy pressure on, you do have to end up making a couple missile turrets here. He actually stands the Marines in an excellent location here. Going to be very hard for those Lings to actually break through and get him. And yeah, we'll be able to clear that up. Only one Sunken is out, but he does have a few Mutas here as well. Nada moving up into position. The Mutas, yeah, I mean, as long as this Zerg has some okay-ish micro, he should be completely fine here. And in fact, just like the units all attacking into this, they would end up beating this just barely. Obviously, you want some micro in there as well. But right now, it seems like our Zerg player is safe. Factory on the way. Kind of a funny place for the factory, kind of on the outside there. Might be a little bit difficult to defend everything. And very light as far as turrets go. Nada right now definitely up in those workers. Our Zerg player flying across the map. And, you know, he's just got a couple zoning turrets out. So, I mean, this is good, solid play. You know, that's basically, you know, someone asked me recently, and I get asked this sometimes, about missile turrets versus mutas, because mutas actually just beat missile turrets straight up. But it's really not the missile turrets that are the defense. Like, they can slow mutas a little bit, and I guess if you make enough, they can kind of defend. But really, it's more about zoning. So the turrets are more support for your Marines and medics. If you can just kind of have your Marines and medics go and reinforce turrets, that is generally enough to push back the Mutalisks at that point. Now, there is a starport on the way here for Nada. He is getting the armory as well. So this is going to be very quick Valkyrie. And he is getting the factory with add-on as well. So it should be Siege Tank Valkyrie, which is normally this is like a 2-base build. Obviously, the tempo of this game is very, very strange compared to most things you end up seeing on this channel. He is pushing those mutas back a little bit. Yeah, picks one off, but you can see the mutas doing an okay job. Now, I do want to mention something, right? Because I've actually used builds that look exactly like this within the last, like, 5 years. Like, I guess 2019 was the last time I was using some builds like this, specifically at LAN tournaments against pro gamers as kind of like a sneaky kind of catch a build. And if the Zerg is consistently spending mutas, that's where you can actually gain an advantage as Terran here. It's more about keeping those mutas kind of alive. The counterattack potential a lot of times is actually stronger than the harassment potential that you see. You really want the mutas to kind of be attacking into your bioforce so that you can get some splash damage on them and start to get very efficient and then maybe hit a timing attack. But right now, the mutas do seem to be doing a reasonable job. The first Valkyrie is on the way. Second Siege Tank pops out. Those are going to be very, very important. Lurker upgrade is already coming. And let's see. He does have some good scans banked. +1 armor on the way with his +1 attack already done. Only 3 missile turrets out. Looks like there are a couple Scourge in this group, by the way. So kind of ready to try to catch that Valkyrie. Lot of gas left over right now for our Zerg player. Honestly, this is looking pretty good for the Zerg. Like, I like his position a little bit more, but I think Nada does have one very good timing attack in him here, where if the engagement is done poorly, I could absolutely see him taking the game. So that third base is up and mining. He's actually got more workers than Nada. And in fact, you know, obviously just the one set of mineral patches, Nada not increasing his SCV count, just very, very much all in here. He does get the science facility as well. So we should be seeing a science vessel come out. So there's the science vessel, and here's the 3 siege tanks. By the way, back during like Nada's strong years, 3 siege tank science vessel timing pushes were the best thing. They know, like, this was before people defiler rushed. This was like the build to do. Well, it would be on 2 bases technically, but it would be like 3 tanks specifically that you were going for, and your first science vessel will go with those 3 tanks, 1 shot a lurker. It just kind of all works out really well. Now obviously that build doesn't really do anything nowadays because of defiler rushes, but again, we're in a strange different type of game here. Now, lurkers moving up. This is the part where when you're playing with scans, it can be a little bit difficult. If you only have scans, like for instance, you could hold position these lurkers, and that could end up killing this entire army. But he did go after that Valkyrie into a science vessel. So it's kind of funny that he even made the Valkyrie. That might be useful. It looks like he's leaving it at home to try to help deal. Oh, look. Oh my God. See, he did have him on hold position. All right. Kills off a couple lurkers right away. The lurker is going to have to run out of here ASAP. Looks like they're running towards that third base location. The Muta's with these couple Scourge coming back. If he could end up sniping the vessel, that could be a huge, huge move. And by the way, look at this. It's like he's going one of each unit out of the starport. Dropship coming up. A very interesting game as far as build order choice here from Nada. Now, it looks like, okay, this is going to turn into a flank. Really, this comes down so heavily to these siege tanks and keeping them alive. He is going to have energy for a defense matrix pretty soon, and that was mistimed because of this incoming flank. So the Mutas come up and actually tank most of the damage here, and he throws down a perfect defense matrix here on this most forward tank. If he had actually hit all that at the same time, it feels to me like he probably would have ended up clearing this. If that was like just a very well done flank or a pincer attack, maybe you would want to call it instead. But the vessel is gone. There's not that much bio left. In fact, he runs into the lurkers there now, decides better of it, backs up to deal with these lings. Going to have to utilize a scan here. Does get that scan off. Good splitting there on those Marines. The Valkyrie decides to come up to help as well. Dropship coming towards that main base. Oh my God, this is so weird with the dropship coming in. Does he have scans? He has no scans left, by the way. Looks like that last scan was just utilized right here. Does end up killing both those. Dropship into the main base. And just kind of stimming forward. That's going to be GG. Okay, so, you know, this was a strange game. The fact that Nada went for like such an old styled build and then still ends up winning with this timing push, I feel like you might be looking at this and saying, okay, well, this Genius Terran, does he know something other players do not? I would say no in this case. He's using kind of an antiquated build. I think it's okay to play some games like this as you're getting your feel back for how the game should be looking. So, yeah, kind of an interesting one. We'll probably take a look at another one of his Terran vs. Zergs as well to see if this is something he's doing more regularly or not. And obviously he does win this particular game. It doesn't feel to me like the Valkyrie was all that good, but if his opponent had kept going Mutas, it would have been amazing to have Valkyries. The dropship actually felt pretty good here, though. That definitely felt pretty good. So anyways, guys, it's pretty exciting just to see this guy back and playing. I'm sure there will be a lot of questions like, do I think that Nada will try for ASL or SSL? I would say as of right this moment, no. I did check out his stream. He's, again, mostly been playing on fastest map. And obviously you need to get, he'd need to improve his skills a lot, which with his talent level, it honestly probably wouldn't take very long for him to get to a level where it's a possibility. And I'm going to keep track to see if he's grinding a bit more and playing more 1v1s and stuff. But anyways, this was Nada's Terran vs. Zerg. Very different build. Does take down that win. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed. And the next couple days at least are going to be some Nada games as we take a look at how he's looking right now. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.